Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Renee with Park and Oak. We're here to answer any questions that you have from Instagram and our blog.
Our hope is to be here weekly. We'll do our best, but check back often, and we'll do our best to answer all of your questions.
We had our first studio, and I'll never forget the day that Chris and I were sitting there in this tiny, 500 square foot studio. We had a huge challenge that day. It was raining outside, and we both looked at each other and were like, what are we doing? Can we do this? It was nice to have each other for the support to say, yes, we have to keep moving forward. We're going to do what we do, and we just have to be tougher.
I don't cry. I'm not a crier by nature, and I was hysterical. I think.
She was outside in the rain.
Yeah. Just looking up to the heavens, thinking what and how. But yeah, that's life. There are good days and bad days.
But then there's the moments of looking around and seeing the 25 people on our team. And now that we're all in one space together, and the energy that everybody has and the excitement and everybody working so passionately towards something, you look back and it's like, this is all worth it. Those moments when we were sitting there in the rain and saying, like, can we do this? I'm so happy that we did. I'm so happy that we just kept going.
Yeah, that was a moment for me last week because we just moved into the new space last week. And just looking around and having everyone under one roof and I don't cry in here.
She keeps saying she doesn't cry, but she keeps crying.
The intensity of that, like that moment of like all of those years of hard work of like literally blood, sweat, and tears, and here it is, like all coming together, and it's so humbling, and it's an out of body experience, and it's amazing. I'm truly grateful.
We love antique rugs. It can bring a lot of texture and color to a room without being overbearing. We generally lean towards more neutral colors in a room. Neutral pieces like a gray or a beige chair with a more colorful rug usually work. Sometimes we'll try to make it, if it's a more colorful room, you can bring in a navy.
Yeah, and to add to what Renee is saying, the use of like vintage or antique rugs helps like tell a story. So whether it's something that you found at your favorite antique store or was handed down from a family member, the rug is like the foundational piece that helps create a space that feels collected.
We use antique rugs in a lot of different ways. We will layer them on top of another more neutral rug. And if it's a really large space, then you can still bring that color and texture into the room with a smaller rug layered on top of some kind of natural rug or just more neutral. I do think it can be too big in a lot of situations. Sometimes we will split it into 2 islands, which helps a lot. People gather in the kitchen and it turns into a place where there's a lot of people around an island and you're having a party. You don't want to be yelling across the island like, can you pass me the spaghetti or whatever it is. You want to be able to be very close to the people around you. A lot of times if you have a larger home, then 2 islands can accomplish this.
I love marble. Renee loves marble. We love natural stone in general. But there is a patina that happens with it. You go to Europe, you go to cafes there, you go to museums. The steps, they are on the countertops. They are everywhere. They have some wear on them. And that first initial plate that goes on and creates an etch, or the first glass of red wine that sits overnight and creates that dark spot, it stings a little, like especially when you have this brand new beautiful surface that you just paid all this money for. But over time, those mishaps become like stories that you remember, or they also create this patina, which I keep speaking of, but like that, they just fade away. They do have products now out on the market that you could essentially seal the stone in a way. There's something called I think it's called the Zero Care. It creates this seal over the marble that it prevents any etching, any staining, and it keeps it as it was the day you bought it. So there are some of those options out there, or you could just seal it every 2 years or every year, and that helps also. But there is a maintenance with marble. It's not maintenance free, but then nothing is. Like even quartz, which is a man-made product, is not maintenance free.
So back when we had our first office, which was Chris's kitchen island, I came to work one day and she had blue ink all over, or black ink, like all over her marble countertop, and I started hyperventilating a little bit. I was like, your counter, I'm like, it's black ink everywhere. There's no way that this is coming out. I don't know what you use, if it was like a magic eraser or what it was where you got that out of marble. But since then, I haven't really been nervous about it because
it was an explosion.
It was like a pen had exploded all over the island.
Yeah, soft scrub, magic eraser, and lots of elbow.
Yeah. So anything's possible. I think there's different personalities and it's different for everybody. There are some people that are very meticulous and notice every little thing that's on the counter. And for those people, marble is not right.
That is
because that is not your stone, because you will be stressed out and worried that something's going to spill, it's going to etch, anything can happen. But if you appreciate the patina and you're okay with a little bit of change in the stone, then it would work for you. We just used Taj Mahal in our cocktail bar, the parlor.
And marble in our kitchen.
And marble in the kitchen. Taj Mahal is a quartzite, and it has beige undertones. It's a very pretty quartzite. So we had that leathered. It looks beautiful. Quartzite would be a good alternative to marble.
It can provide an opportunity to go one of two ways. Either you add millwork below it and create like interesting applied molding detail and paint that and then wallpaper above it, or you remove the chair rail all together
and go floor to ceiling.
Be really dramatic with the wallpaper.
That's what we like, dramatic. Art is very personal, and a lot of people want to find meaning in the art that they purchase for their home.
To curate a collection of art takes years, because to your point, like it's so personal and you want it to have meaning, and you don't want to just put any piece up, but then you also don't want to have blank walls forever while you're waiting for that perfect piece. So filling in the places that you don't have the most magical piece or the most meaningful piece with art that's interesting and tells a story in a different way. I think that could be like the message, like even just something like this where maybe you love this piece because we found it in wherever we found it, and then we blend it with other pieces that, we purchased or got from collected. And then that creates a story in and of itself. Art on the wall fills a space. Like it finishes a room. It's like drapes. You need it.
I think art is so important because it inspires a feeling, and everybody feels differently about each piece. Sometimes it's surprising that we have this piece.
I know what you're talking about. The octopus.
We have an octopus piece that it's like, I was drawn to it initially. I love it. And I thought, I don't know if anybody else is going to like this. It's an octopus. And as it turns out,
hot seller.
Everybody loves this. Everybody loves it. It's our job to try to find the right pieces for each of our clients. We will sit down and talk to them and talk about their interests, where they like to travel, what they do, their lifestyle, and to try to understand what kind of pieces they will like. Because we sometimes will have a client that only wants all abstract, modern art, but then we have other clients that all want original oil paintings. We get this question a lot because you're going to invest in a nice piece of furniture and you don't want to be stressed all the time that the kids are going to spill. Well, I have a white sofa and I was so concerned about the kids spilling all over it. It's Krypton. And then within a couple of weeks of having this white sofa, I actually spilled an Oreo Blizzard all over it.
I think I also then years later, spilled red wine all over it.
But you spilled on my sofa.
On yours, that exact sofa.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
There has been so much that has been spilled on this between everyone's concerned about red wine, highlighters, pens. It has all come out. And I think because it's Krypton, that is really important to have that. There's other lines that have come out inside out. Sometimes we'll use outdoor fabrics like perennials.
Umbrella.
Mm-hmm. But in a high traffic area like a family room, it's really important because otherwise you'll just be stressed all the time.
Yeah, the dress didn't make it, the sofa did.
That's right. You had a white dress on.
I did. The dress is not. Yeah, it didn't make it. It didn't fare so well.
But the white sofa's okay.
Literally everywhere. Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. And I think, again, it depends on the home and the flow. Like if there's a natural stopping point for that wallpaper, for instance, like a cased opening or, a break in the hallway, then that makes sense. Otherwise, if it's just one continuous stairwell that leads into the hallway up there, it doesn't have a natural break, then I would say continue it all the way down the hallway. Or if you can create a break, create some sort of cased opening or opportunity for it to die into it. We get a lot of those, like, I live in Boston, I'm obsessed. Do you do out-of-state projects? Yes, we do. We work out-of-state all the time, like from coast to coast. We come out for key on-site meetings that need to happen with some of the trades. Throughout the process, the presentations, the packets can be sent to the client, or the client can come here, and then we present over Zoom. They've been really, really successful. I would say that at least 50% of our projects are out of state.
It's been really fun for us to work across the country because all of the styles are so different. So to go to, California, New York, projects in Arizona, everything is Tennessee. It's so different. Utah. So it's been a lot of fun to work on all different types of architecture.
Paint can transform a space, and whether it's like you're painting the bricks or painting the stones, whether you have the glass doors and you're removing those brass, like shiny 90s looking brass box, glass box doors, those kind of simple updates. The mantle, what the mantle looks like, you can have that transform that space as well.
We've built around fireplaces too. You can build around, if it's an old dated stone or brick fireplace that you don't like, then you can still just build with wood around it.
That is the million-dollar question, but soon, very, very soon.
We've been working really hard at getting the rest of our space open. The official date is April 19th. We will be open to the public. We will have a cocktail bar, which we're working on right now, additional showroom, and a display kitchen. So come visit us April 19th when the bar is open.
So thank you all so much for sending in your questions. We truly appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun to see the questions and actually answer them in person versus answering them on Instagram. So please send your questions in, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.